We're looking at a charming assortment of mid-19th century juvenile books. We see here the typical era style of pebble cloth, embossed in blind binding with ornate gilt stamped spine. Nice 1867 early presentation inscription, and we'll see that this book, like most of these books, has wood cut illustrations, some more than others. That's a nice little bird binding. Here is another very attractive embossed in blind, little cherubs with floral wreath on top of a pediment. We've got another early owner's name. Very interesting. Street merchant selling puppets or dolls here. Here's children, looks like a little toy windmill, toy soldier, a kite. And let's see here. Oh yes, here we see. Oh, this one has, for instance, full page, the cook. Interesting. Here's the fat old cook. Here's Johnny's visit to Maggie. Oh, that's interesting. Seems like the story could involve a doll coming to life. It's a nice little pebble cloth binding again, embossed in blind. 1863, Civil War era, Philadelphia owner's inscription. Wood engraving frontis with a tissue guard. First winter in the city. Some foxing and staining from usage. I am for the sailor's life, Mr. President. Let's see. All right, bent over. Yes, look at this, out on the streets in the winter. Okay. Then we've got this one in an early smooth plain leather spine with marbled paper-covered boards. We see here a steel engraved frontis, a very well done one actually. Nice range of tonality on that. Again, the text block is well age stained, but the book remains tight and sound. Here is another good example of unembossed, decoratively embossed in blind, binding with fine little gilt stamped 1859. It's like it's an award, almost like a reward of merit, but a little certificate that has been inserted or laid in or tipped into the front end paper of this book by the teacher or by the student who received it. And here is another early American binding. This is interesting because it's got a running blind stamp going up here with these two little imprints, circular imprints on both sides. It's interesting. It's an unusual feature. It could well just be, and there's some more of them right here. Oh, that's interesting. And someone has stenciled their name in this one. This is very interesting because it's Walks in Kent, Histories and Narratives, Instructions and Amusement for Young People, Portland, Maine, 1828. Embellished with engravings, it says. But this is interesting. Oh, there we are. Yeah, these are very fine wood engravings of the era. That's actually looks to be Native Americans. Typical children reading with their mother. There's a father seated at a table with a book. And now we've got another blind stamped cloth publisher's binding. And an ornate, oh look at this, this is like almost an advertisement leaf as a frontis. Small little chip out of that, but I guess there's 12 books that make up this whole series. There's a boy reading. And then we've got this binding, stamped in blind, with an ornate gilt spine. That's a very interesting embossed stamp, and looks like someone here, an early owner, has attempted to add color to the black and white illustrations. These are very nice wood engravings. It's interesting. At a time when color was not typically to be found in most inexpensive juvenile books. This is an interesting little book. Yeah, huh. Oh, look, a monkey and a mirror. Then we've got this gilt stamped, but also stamped in blind. And this book here, that's a fantastic frontis, really, very nice. Woman was reading a book to children, 1841. This book here has, it's supposed to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plates, but it looks as though one of the illustrations is lacking from this volume. There's a white bear. This is very typical sort of condition issue for juvenile books of this era, where an early owner might have been tempted to remove the illustration to hang up in their room or something. And the final book in this lot is this little Boston imprint here, probably around 1845 to 55, and a series of very charming, near primitive, almost folk art woodcuts. Some child has scribbled in pencil, that's erasable if you'd like. And so this lot of 10 American juveniles of this era is currently available now on my website, briandemambro.com.